Alright, so hello guys, welcome back to another video. This video I'll be talking about trend lines, how you can identify them. I'll give you a couple of rules to follow. I'll also show you how to trade them. I'll give you a strategy, how you can trade trend line breakouts. And I'm going to also give you some tips on what you can do to not get caught in fake accounts and lose your money. So let's get right into this without wasting any more time. So what are trend lines? I've drawn a very simple trend line here. And basically what a trend line is, it's a level where it's a trend line. It's in the name, right? It's a line where every time price touches it, it reacts to it and it follows the trend. For example, right here, I'll show you guys on the chart in a minute how that looks. But here, right here, every time price touched this level, reacted, went to higher, right? Now, the same thing is true for downtrends. For example, we have this price is going lower, so it goes lower, goes high, hits this, goes higher. I'm not drawing this perfectly. I just want you guys to understand how a trend line will look. That's pretty much what it is. Now let's go into charts real quick and I'll show you guys what a trend line looks like here. Let's actually show you guys this one. It's better. Here, this is a perfect trend line. Every time price touched this, see it reacted, it kept going. And it finally broke. And I'm going to teach you guys how you can trade these breakouts here. And it's usually guaranteed profits because you're going to have a set strategy. Instead of just longing these, which is risky, you're going to have a set strategy that helps you 100% profit on this. Now, that's what trend lines are. It's that simple. Let me show you guys what the strategy is. So here. Say we have a trend line, right? Price is doing its thing. Maybe we have this and we have this, and then we get into this trend line here. We're going high, we're making higher highs and higher lows, but then we break out. And this is essentially what I'm going to be teaching you guys to do. When we drawing this, we're going to be doing this short. For example, let's say here, stop loss here. It's going to look something like this, and we're going to take profit here. It's going to be kind of like this. I want to show you on the charts. I'm going to show you two examples of how it works, and another one that's kind of forming right now on XRP, because this is XRP, we trade for crypto here. So here, we're going to take the candle that broke out of the trend line, we can draw a rectangle around it, and we're going to wait to see how price reacts to that level, because it becomes resistance. If we're shorting, it's going to become resistance. If we're going to long, it becomes support, right? We're going to wait for reactions and confirmations. If it continues, if it looks good, then we're going to enter and we're going to make some profit. That's essentially what it is. Let's get into the strategy right here. So first things first, you want to identify your trend line. I'm also going to show you guys a fake account later on. So stick to the video. Take notes if you need to. Here, we're gonna draw a trend line. This is our trend line. Here, on the 4-hour, we see, what do we see? We see this huge red candle. Well, my colors are changed, but this is actually a red candle. It's a down candle. We're gonna see this that broke the trend line, right? Now, we're not gonna enter on this. Like a lot of beginners, when they see this, they enter. For example, like let's say you see this here, you enter here, it goes back, and then you get here, and you get stopped out, maybe, or you lose money, you close your trade, but then it continues to go your way. We're not gonna do that here. We have a set strategy that we're gonna use. Now we're gonna wait for confirmations. Okay, zoom into here. What are we seeing price do when it gets to this level? It treats it as resistance. First time price came up here, we can consider this. I don't know what the candle name is, but it got rejected, went back down, and then it came back up here again. We're seeing the same type of candle here, and then a huge red candle, which would be called an engulfing candle. Now what an engulfing candle is, it's a candle that is bigger than its two previous opposite candles. So for example, this red candle is engulfing because it's bigger than these last 2 to 3 green candles. Okay, now when we see this, we're like, okay, this is a good resistance level. We got our confirmation. Price it's not able to go higher. It got rejected. So what we do is, let's say we enter the trade here, we put our stop loss here. Some people will put it here. Okay, you can also do that if you want to be safer. I personally would just put it right here. Now for your take profits, this is where it gets cooler. You want to zoom out. Your main take profits can be here. At the lowest point the trend line was. But on your way to there, you are going to manually, take profits. For example, I personally would wait for this. Like for example, draw Fibonacci on it at 0.5. I would take 50% and say took my move on stop loss, the profits, whatever. But I'm going to show you guys something simpler. Okay, let me actually delete this Fibonacci level. Let's move this down here. I want you guys to draw lines on where price say the trend line, or if they're too close, I want you to draw one between them. For example, you see these 2 times. I want to draw this one here. Draw this one here. Then I want to take this and I want to draw this one, for example, here maybe, but they're too close. Again, I want to take this one here. Here, actually draw this more clearly. And then our last one is just going to be this. So we can take this here. Where was this? There was here. It was here. So, for example, these could be your take profits. It would take profits. Moving stop losses doesn't really matter in this case. I personally would put it above the last place I took profits, because we're also seeing structural form, guys. For example, when price came here, took this level, right? It took we hit our first take profit, came back down to it, we continued lower, took this. Now, if you notice, this area has become resistance. So I would place my stop loss here in profit, so that if it does come here, that means the trend is reversing, it's invalidated. It's not gonna go any lower. And then he's saying the same thing with here. And then it just continues and goes here and takes their take profit. This is the first trade. I want to show you guys another one here. So here, let's zoom out, 4 hour time frame. By the way, about time frames, the time frame doesn't really matter. I'm just showing you guys these on 4 hours, but you can literally find this on any time frame. You can find this in 1 minute, even 15 minutes, 5, daily, weekly, whatever. It works all the time. So let's go here. Here we're seeing a huge trend line. Now this is actually a descending triangle pattern, I believe, but remember this. Patterns are just made of multiple trend lines. Okay, that's it, literally, because we can see 2 trend lines here. We don't know which side is going to play out. We are biased bearish, I suppose. We're biased shorts. Why? Because again, it's called a descending triangle for a reason. It's called descending because before this triangle was formed, price was coming down, right? So we're biased shorts. I personally am not. I'm looking for confirmations. For example, again, about the fake counts. This is a fake count. This is why you don't enter on just seeing it break down, because this can easily happen. You go back up here, and you just lose a lot of money. You might even, if you don't have a stop loss, you get liquidated. You might lose your whole accounts, literally that easily. Okay, here we see price break out. We see it pump massively. This is a massive pump. In fact, if you take this, this is a 25% pump. It broke out the trend line. Now here, if you want to enter this, we're gonna look for confirmations again. Let's draw our box. Okay, so here we can even do it here. That's too big though. Let's draw it till here. Okay. What are we seeing here first? We're seeing similar patterns to. Let me actually move my mic a little. We're seeing similar patterns to the other setup. We're seeing somewhat a double bottom form here. We also see this price was dumping. It was coming down really quickly, but then it turned into a big green candle, and then this engulfing green candle went back down. Some people just enter here, stop loss here. I wouldn't do it. I want to wait. I want to wait for more confirmations. Okay. We come down here, then we see these candles. You don't even need to know the names of candles or candlestick patterns, whatever. You just need to see, like, just by looking at them, you should get an idea of what they are. What do these two tell you? Price came down here, got pushed back up. Then again, got pushed back up. And then as soon as you, for example, see the first one, you should be like, okay, I got my confirmation. I'm in. All right. So stack our line here until right here, for example. Stop loss below here. Because most likely, if it comes down here, it's invalidated. So stop loss below here. I personally would just put it below here because I like to risk more. I like to be more risky for more rewards here. Now, where is our take profit going to be? I'll move this all the way up here. I can put it above it because it usually goes above it. And there you go. You have a 1-to-9 ratio trade. And honestly, that's a pretty good R. I mean, you're 9 times in whatever you risk. For example, if you were risking $100 on this trade, you'd make 900. Isn't that good? It really is. And think about this strategy: is you're not going to get caught into fake outs. I mean, if you were to put this strategy here, you'd just not enter, right? You'd not lose anything. So I don't see how you can lose with this strategy. Of course, I showed you guys 2 examples. This is the 4-hour time frame. Like, it's gonna be kind of hard to find setups like this, but it's a really high win rate strategy, honestly, in my opinion. Now here, another setup is forming on XRP right now. I don't know if this is gonna play out or not. Let's click our trend line here. We can see this. We can see our fake count here. But I mean, is this a fake count? No, it's not a fake count. I'm not gonna consider that a fake count. Why? Because here, this trend line was not even formed. Now the trend line is formed here. Obvious trend line. We also can draw one from here. Doesn't matter. Okay, it broke upwards. Okay. Now you can go into 1 hour here. You can look for confirmations on this. You can enter this. I'm gonna have to do more analysis on this, see if it looks good or not. Then I might enter. But this is another setup that's forming right now. Just wanted to show you guys this on, I guess, like a live chart. Let's go. Also, I want to show you guys a failing example of this trade, of this setup. Here. Let's reflect my trend lines here. So here, price broke out, came back down. We saw this, but we really didn't get any confirmations. Like, it's doing nothing. Like, you can't read this chart right now. It actually is so hard to understand what price is doing right now. So this is just an example of when this does not play out. And this, I'm also gonna add this here. This breakout strategy works for not only trend lines but also patterns. Like, for example, you saw I showed you this on a triangle pattern. This other one that I showed you guys here, this was just a trend line one. No pattern was really involved here. It was just a trend line. Okay, it's as simple as that. And I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope you can make some profit on this. So see you guys in the next one.